Okay. So, of all of the Coffee with Dawni videos that I've done, I think the one that most signifies or typifies what I'm all about is the one about going towards your master plan. And I want to talk more about that. So if you have not seen the master plan Coffee with Dawni video and you don't have access to it, then contact me and I will send you that video. Oh, I gotta show you my new coffee mug first. This is my Grip 6 coffee mug. So shout out to my brothers. My brothers own the company Grip 6. I have 3 wonderful brothers and they are phenomenal and brilliant. And it's a belt company. Coolest belts in the world. And grip6.com. Go order yourself a belt. Anyway, so master plan. Right? Then we're just going to recap the whole thing about you knowing where you are headed. You knowing the way that you want your life to feel. And then making sure everything you're doing in the meantime is energetically a match for where you're headed. So that you get to experience along the way a lot of that satisfaction. And this way too, you get to see, is this actually what I want? If I'm going to give my life to something, I'm going to be experiencing pieces of that along the way and clarifying that this is even what I really want. So, you know, an example of this for me, okay, anyone who knows me in my real life, personal life, knows that what I want is to build a home on land out. I'm a prairie girl, so I love the wide open spaces. I want to live out, you know, by horses, live on a farm, that type of thing. Okay, well, what am I doing in the meantime? Well, in the meantime, I'm spending most of my free time and my weekends in, you know, with Gideon in our trailer out where we want to eventually live. Do we really love it out there? Do we get tired of it? Do we get bored? We want this very cozy and connected family life. Okay, well then in the meantime, how much time are we spending with family? How much time are we spending connected? Are we building a life that feels connected, even if it's a couple of years before we can build our dream house on this land? Do you see? Now, what element I want to talk about today is the biggest block to your master plan. I hear all the time from people, but I don't know what my master plan is. And I actually don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think that you know what you want and that there is something so big blocking you from that that you can't fully admit to yourself that you want it. Do you know, since I was a little girl, I have wanted a cozy, connected, family-oriented life. And that has taken different forms, but that's always been what I've wanted. I've always wanted to live wide open spaces. When I was a little girl, I was obsessed with the Laura Ingalls Little House on the Prairie. And I would read those books over and over and over again and dream about and fantasize about living a modern version of that life, which is still what I want. What took me away from that is the same thing that takes a lot of people away from their master plan. And so we're going to talk about that today. And that is a big element of your life, not only not being a fit for the energy of your master plan, but working directly against it. So if you are in a marriage or, you know, a serious committed relationship where you're partners and you share money and you're building a life together with someone who does not want the same thing you want, And I mean, not like indeed, oh, there's some detail that's off, but really, let's say for me, it would be being with someone who wanted to live in a condo downtown in a big city and have this big time nightlife, but barely see their family. That's in direct opposition to my master plan. So if you're in a relationship with someone who is in direct opposition to your master plan, you can't even allow yourself to really want what you want because you can't have it. While you're with that person, you cannot have what you truly want. Likewise with a job. If you are in a career or at a specific job that goes directly against the entire energy of your master plan, no amount of trying little tweaks will work because there's no room in that life for what you really want. And when we get ourselves into those positions, what we will typically do, and what I did for years to take accountability for, my piece of this, what I did for years was try to shift what I wanted to fit my current situation. Spoiler alert, it didn't work at all. I got sick, I gained weight, I had headaches every day, I felt hopeless, I felt discouraged, and no amount of pretending to not want what I wanted or to want what I didn't want, to try to want what I didn't want, none of that worked. So, if you are in a position where your job or your relationship or something about your circumstances is in direct opposition to what you actually want, to the master plan that you want to work towards, we've got to take a minute. And this is where the fearless inventory and the self-honesty comes in, you guys. Is there room in my current circumstances for me to take steps towards my master plan? Because if the answer is no, and there's no room there, then there is something that is deeply out of integrity about your life. You guys, this doesn't mean it's deeply out of integrity in general. I mean, it can mean that. If you're embezzling from your company, yeah, that's out of integrity in general. But what it can mean is just out of integrity for you and what you actually want in this lifetime. Right? What if you're married to some really nice person, but who truly is not a match for you? Then it's out of integrity for you. What if you have a job that maybe would work really well for other people, but is just killing your soul? Well, then that's out of integrity for you. So, this is not me telling you guys to get divorced and quit your job. This is me saying that a sign that you are in a position that is out of integrity for you is that you cannot, from where you currently are, take steps towards your master plan because there's no room for it in your life. So what I'm asking you to do is be honest with yourself about this. And at the very least, pause. Really reach out to your therapist, reach out to your coach. Come do a session with me, right? Especially if you're in Utah, because I love the in-person over cups of coffee sessions. Something where you are getting real about it, real about what you really want and what in your life, your situation is blocking that. How long have you waited to have it change magically? And it's just not. Okay? Now, there are things that we can't control. If you have, I go back to this one a lot because this is one of the things in life you can't control. If you have a special needs child, you're not going to stop taking care of that child. But how are you going to continue to work towards your master plan And maybe there are adjustments that need to be made. But you're going to obviously make those adjustments. If you have a chronic illness that you're not able to heal, you don't give up on your master plan. You make the adjustments that you need to make. But if you are in a situation where no adjustments make any difference because it's the opposite of your master plan, that's where I'm asking you to pause, be honest with yourself, take fearless inventory of that, and at least be willing to get curious. At least be willing to open yourself up to other possibilities. I see this in my one-on-one clients more than I would like to admit. And sometimes at the end of the day, at the end of a session, there's little I can do except say, in order to move forward in a way that is congruent for you, you are going to have to leave this situation. You're going to have to quit your job, obviously responsibly, right? But putting all your energy towards finding a situation that would be more congruent for you. You may have to leave your relationship. And I am not one that loves that, right? I am all about connection and love. And so I've brought this up more than once. Why? Because I'm still seeing it. You guys, what am I all about? I'm all about you having a life that you love. And I mean really love, not the surfacey, oh, I'm having a blast, but the deep satisfaction and joy, the kind of life that at the end of it, you're on your deathbed going, hell yes, I did that. I lived the life I came here to live. We have to be willing to acknowledge the big blocks to that. If it's a little block, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, actually, my job is really good and my marriage is pretty damn good. There are things I need to tweak. Then tweak those things. Have the conversations, no matter how difficult or awkward they may be. It's time to take the next step in our master plan. It's time to do either the tweaking or the big changes that are needed that are leading us deeper into the life we love. Trust your gut when it's telling you what would bring you joy. Look at evidence up to this point. What has brought you joy? What has been a poor investment and a waste of your time? And what has brought you real joy and satisfaction? And how do you get more of that? That's the main thing today, you guys. It's time for the next step. So what is it for you? What's the next step? What's the tweak that needs to happen? Or do you need to burn some shit to the ground to have any chance whatsoever of building a life you love? Self-honesty, self-awareness, and full ownership of what we really, truly want. I've been there. I know the hopelessness that comes when in your current situation, there's no way to get to where you really want to be and where you need to be without burning something to the ground. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know how I can be there for you. You don't have to do this alone. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of interacting every day. This is the whole point of having a community where we can go, right? I love my Facebook Coffee with Dawni community. Love it. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're a subscriber and you're on my private community. This is some really great resources. But none of those resources make any difference if we're not being honest with ourselves. Sometimes to get what we want, we have to make big sacrifices, guys. It's worth it, worth it, worth it. I love you. I'm here for you. May your coffee be strong. And may you be strong. And your life be blessed. You've got this. I believe in you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And If you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.